Moving on now. Leaders from the group of 7 nations will start meeting from the 19th of May in the Japanese city of Hiroshima. Among the issues which will headline are countering the challenges posed by Russia and China, but differences are bound to emerge as the member nations are divided over the approach to be taken against these two. This holds true especially for China, the world's second largest economy. It's a key trading partner of G7 nations. No nation, of course, wishes to strain ties with it, while for Russia, disagreement exists on how to make Moscow end its war in Ukraine. More details in our next report. Take a look.
Air Force One outside Washington Wednesday for a flight to Japan. He is participating in the Group of 7 Leaders Summit, or G7 meetings there starting Friday. A French official told Reuters he would call this the geopolitical 7, as the focus is expected to be on 2 countries not invited, China and Russia. When it comes to China, members are grappling with how to warn against what they see as its threat to global supply chains and economic security, without alienating a key trading partner. President Biden had planned to address some of these issues on a visit to other countries in the hemisphere as well. This included a meeting in Australia with the Quad, an informal group of 4 countries that promotes an open Indo-Pacific, which Beijing sees as an attempt to push back against its growing influence in the region. That meeting is now taking place in Japan. Biden was asked about this before his departure.
What message does this send to PNG and to Australia? I know that it was important to you to focus on Asia in this trip, but this is having to be put aside. Is this almost a win for China?
No, because we're still meeting. We still have 4 good allies.
I think we've shown recently that there is more senior level engagement with China.
The U.S. relationship with China highlighted a congressional hearing Tuesday, with several cabinet secretaries, including Secretary of State Antony Blinken, weighing in on its importance and its challenges.
What we believe would be the right course is to now see more senior level engagement in a sustained way across our administration and theirs, precisely so that we can make sure that at the very least we're talking to each other, that we are making very clear what we stand for, what our intent is, what we're looking for, as well as, where possible, finding areas of cooperation. It's not only what's in our interest, but the rest of the world looks to us to manage this relationship responsibly. We're determined to do that.
Though differences on China among G7 members were put in sharp focus after French President Emmanuel Macron visited Beijing last month and called for the European Union to reduce its dependence on the United States. On Russia, the leaders are expected to tighten sanctions. The focus is on energy and exports aiding Moscow's war against Ukraine. Officials with direct knowledge of the talks have told Reuters. While there are differences in strategy on how to end the conflict, the United States doesn't want to talk about a diplomatic path forward until it sees how the spring military offensive plays out, officials have said, even as its European allies want it to have a diplomatic solution in hand. The G7 talks wrap up Sunday.
And US President Joe Biden will arrive in Hiroshima today and will have a busy agenda. For more on this, our correspondent Susan Tehrani has sent us this report. Listen in.
Before departing for Japan, President Biden said that he did not believe cutting short his trip would give China the upper hand and China gaining influence in the region. The administration has been trying to send the message that it's been working very closely with its allies and partners in the Indo-Pacific region and with Australia and Papua New Guinea as well, the 2 countries that he'll be bypassing. But now reports indicate that at the time that the administration was thinking of cutting the president's trip short, they were also considering perhaps sending an alternative, like Secretary of State Antony Blinken or Vice President Kamala Harris. However, as of Wednesday afternoon, no alternative is scheduled.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.